Everyone at my girlfriend's funeral accused me of stalking her, not knowing I was her boyfriend. I'd been secretly dating Amelia for a year when I found out she killed herself. Her funeral was a week later, and I showed up in a simple black outfit, not wanting anyone to recognize me. I immediately noticed that I was the only black person there, and seeing her best friends reminded me why we kept our relationship so private. The whispers started before I even found a seat. "Who's that?" And "I've never seen him before," floated through the funeral home like they thought I couldn't hear them. An old white woman clutched her purse tighter when I walked past her row, and my chest tightened, knowing this was exactly what Amelia protected me from. When I finally sat down in the back row, a mother actually grabbed her teenage daughter's arm and pulled her to the other side of the room, glaring at me like I was some kind of threat to the funeral. Madison and Chloe were sitting 3 rows ahead, and I recognized them from Amelia's Instagram. They kept turning around to stare, and Madison whispered something that made Chloe look down at my shoes. "Those are knockoffs," Madison said, not even trying to keep her voice down. He couldn't even dress properly for her funeral. The irony burned in my throat since Amelia had bought me these shoes for our anniversary, telling me she loved how I looked in them. "Look at that cheap suit from Walmart," Chloe added, and they both pulled out their phones to take photos of me, giggling like we were at a high school cafeteria instead of saying goodbye to someone we supposedly loved. So disrespectful. I tried to focus on the service, on Amelia's photo at the front, but I couldn't stop the tears streaming down my face. My hands shook as I covered my face, trying to grieve privately, but even that became ammunition for them. "Look at him crying like that," someone whispered behind me. "Real men control themselves." Madison turned fully around in her seat, studying me with narrowed eyes. "He's talking to himself," she whispered to Chloe, loud enough for the entire section to hear. "I think he's unstable." The grief was choking me, making my body rock slightly as I tried to hold back sobs, and Chloe's voice cut through again. "Look at how he's rocking back and forth. Something's wrong with him. I think he's autistic." She grabbed Madison's arm dramatically. "Should we call someone? He might snap. These mentally ill people think they have connections that don't exist." An older parent chimed in, and my stomach turned, knowing they thought I was some stranger who'd wandered in off the street. "He needs help not to be at a funeral disturbing everyone." Several people got up and moved seats, making a big show of shaking their heads as they relocated further away from me. The space around me grew like I was contagious, and then Chloe started mockingly rocking back and forth in her seat, imitating my grief while Madison filmed it on her phone. The cruelty of it made my fists clench so hard, my nails dug into my palms. When I finally got up to approach the casket, to say goodbye to the only person who ever really saw me, Madison's voice rang out clear and sharp. "Oh my gosh, you're that creep who was obsessed with her." The accusation hit like a physical blow, and everyone turned to stare. "He probably has photos of her on his phone right now," she continued, playing to her audience. Chloe joined in, her face twisted with disgust. "This is sick. You're getting off on seeing her like this." Amelia's parents stood up, along with several other family members, forming a human wall between me and the casket. Madison's voice carried over the growing commotion. "Don't let him near the casket. These perverts do sick things." I stood there frozen, unable to defend myself without making everything worse, when suddenly Amelia's little sister broke away from her parents and ran straight at me. "Tyrone!" She threw her arms around me as everyone froze. Through tears, she begged, "Show them the constellation, the one you both got." My hands trembled as I pulled up my sleeve, revealing the intricate constellation tattoo with E+J hidden in the stars. Her mother gasped and rushed to the casket, lifting Amelia's wrist, the exact same design. "She said you were her soulmate," her sister whispered. The funeral home went dead silent. Madison and Chloe stumble backward, faces draining of color. We didn't know," Madison stammers. Chloe's phone clatters to the floor, her creep filming forgotten. We thought." Full story on channel, link below.